There we go. How's it going, brother?
What's up, man? Fucking, how you doing today?
In a minute. I'm doing great. I went to church this morning,
Good for you.
and it was a good service.
Something I
and then
need to do.
we all need to do it, and most of us don't. And then let's see. So church, went home, took a nap, and had a protein shake, and now I'm here.
Look at you, bro. Being productive
Yeah.
as fuck. Okay.
Not that productive, honestly, because woke up like I was a little bit late to church, and then went home and took a nap as if like I was really doing something. That being said, yesterday, what did I do yesterday? I worked yesterday, worked until 1, so 6 to 1. And then after that, did laundry and played video games for the first time in months, actually, because I haven't played COD in so long. My buddy was like, "Yo, you trying to play?" And I was like, you know what? I think I can today.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw you,
Yeah.
and I was gonna ask you if you wanted to join, but I was just like, he's probably playing with his homies. So I'm just
Yeah.
gonna let him.
I was.
It's all
I
good.
was indeed.
You know, I also wanted to join you for church this morning, but I was just like,
Well, yeah, you got called in, right?
yeah, I gotta go work.
Yeah.
It's all good though.
Yeah.
But then I was at the gym too, so
That's good. At least you got that done. That's,
yeah.
Hey, worship at the Iron Chapel is still worship.
You
what I'm
know,
saying?
I still keep God here though.
Exactly.
in here.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. I mean, missed you last weekend. Went to Vegas.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
pretty.
Sorry I couldn't be
interesting.
there. I honestly I slept most of last weekend
That's good.
because last week was my first day back, like or first week fully fabricating. And it's labor, and going from an office job to
Oh, you're back on the field, huh?
yeah back. Well, not in the field because the field means I'm going out to the job sites, and I would actually love to start working in the field because all of our job sites are beautiful. They're in Tahoe.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's like we're building millionaires' houses in Tahoe.
fuck.
Yeah. So we get to see the land before it's fully built, basically. So that'd be really nice. I definitely post some pictures of that if I do go to the field, when I do go to the field, because eventually I will. But yeah, so just been working in the shop. It's labor for sure. It's different going from working an office job to basically an office job to fabricating in the shop.
For sure.
So like the transition was a little rough. I was very tired by the end of the week.
I bet you were. Sitting on in the office with AC.
Sitting in that nice air conditioned office, looking at spreadsheets. Like, that's basically all I did for 2.5 months
God, that must have
before
been nice.
going back. It was nice. It was nice while it lasted, but now we actually have too many jobs to work on, so they're just stopping estimating and bidding on new jobs. So I basically lost that portion of my job for now just because they don't need me to do that. So, and if I can fabricate, I'm still a assistant project manager and still making the same money that I was making while I was in the office, but now I'm fabricating.
Ooh, this guy
So it's
over
not
here.
like I'm multi-talented, multi-purpose.
he's
I'm
capable.
a Swiss Army knife.
and yeah, he's useful
You got to make yourself useful
Exactly.
to make the money.
to make. I don't know.
You need to
I
be
lost
an
it.
indispensable asset at whatever you're doing. If you want to
Exactly.
make the big bucks at your company or just in general, really, with other people,
Exactly.
if you can solve a lot of problems, you can make a lot of money.
You can't be disposable. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So for today's topic, what you thinking? The one that I brought up?
I think so.
Yeah.
I like
okay.
that.
So I was thinking.
Hold on. Before you say, I feel we should also. I feel like last time we targeted a lot about women.
Mm-hmm.
I feel we should also talk about how men
Oh yeah, men's duty. Yeah.
to a woman.
Yes.
as well.
Absolutely. I think that's where we'll focus our attention on this topic. I think that'd be good. So today's topic is it's what is the purpose of marriage? Do you want to get married and why?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I'll start since it's my question, I guess. The purpose of marriage for me is mostly for raising children. That is the primary purpose of marriage because we all know that children do better in a 2-parent household.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Facts.
children need stability for their development. That's just how it is. And there is the companionship aspect of marriage after the children leave and you're getting older and stuff like that. Excuse me.
It's all good.
Having
It's that ginger beer, bro.
Yeah, it's that ginger beer. It's pretty good. Non-alcoholic, by the way. It's just called ginger beer for those that don't know. It's really good. Anyway, the purpose of marriage, yeah, there is the children's aspect, I would say, is number one. Number two would be the companionship aspect after the children leave and whatnot. Like, as you get older, if you're alone, life gets tough. I've got a decent amount of single older family members that I wouldn't say they're sad, but they definitely would rather have someone else there with them.
Oh, absolutely. I feel I feel that too. In life, certain family members come into certain struggles and stuff, and they kind of break away. They separate. Mm-hmm. Love's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I feel like the children are the ones that suffer the most, even though the parents are like, oh, honey, that love's not there anymore. You'll understand when you're older. But the kids really suffer because they need that man guidance and
absolutely,
the cherishing and nurturing mother as well.
Yes.
Because if the mother's too busy providing for this kid, then who's going to take that responsibility of that kid?
Yeah. So like in a single parent household, you just don't have enough time to provide all of so the man, if we're going to go back to tradition,
right,
and the traditional gender roles that we've had as a species for the last however many thousands of years, up until maybe 80 years ago when technology and the government and all of these different things kind of supplemented a lot of what men's roles have been traditionally. Because that's really what happened is the government came in and gave assistance for like child support or government assistance for single mothers or things like that, which are good, but also they have some downsides. They're not wholly good. We definitely need to take care of people that are struggling.
Right.
But they also kind of hamstring the man's role so that it makes a man unimportant. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like the main reason that women dealt with men in the first place is because men can be difficult to deal with, especially like the hyper competitive, the ones that are really successful and things like that. The ones that are getting shit done tend to be pretty disagreeable.
Yeah.
And that can be really stressful for women. And it is usually very stressful for women to deal with a man that's like irate and disagreeable and maybe has a short temper. Whether he's kind of narcissist, there's that too. There's all of that. And so, yes, on one hand, it's good that the government can step in one way to help provide for children and women with children. But at the same time, the government's only stepping in financially. It's not, and, security-wise to a degree with like housing projects and things like that. But not having a need for men is actually a big part of why there's such like a mental health crisis with men in general right now is because men need to feel needed. Men really want to feel needed in their relationships. That's a huge thing for a lot of men.
That's so funny. I was actually listening to a friend actually talk about how men, the way to literally, if you want some man to do something for you, or you want like a man to listen to you, is to make him feel wanted or needed.
Yeah,
exactly. Like purposely. Like she's like, I know how to manipulate. I can't even fucking say it. Men. Jesus Christ, you know what?
I'm gonna let you do it because I correct you all the time, so I'm gonna let you figure this one out.
Fuck. Manipulate.
Okay, there we go.
Jesus Christ. Have mercy on me. My man. And I was just listening to her talk. I didn't interrupt her. I didn't say anything. I didn't try anything. I just let her speak her mind, let her say what she wanted because that's what she wanted to do. And then she was all like, yeah, like if I ever want my man to do something, I just basically say, I'm like, oh, I'm having trouble with this. I can't do it. And I get frustrated. And he steps in And it's like the simplest thing ever. She's like, I start small and I progress with bigger things for him to actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, oh, I can't reach this. And the guy comes in, like reaches in and grabs it for her. And it's like, she can't, put this up here. It's too heavy, blah, 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 blah. And then the guy keeps building that confidence of being wanted and needed to eventually actually getting him to do something she actually wants. And I'm like, that is fucked.
That's actually it's a very valid,
smart.
It's a very usable manipulation tactic for most people. It's called in sales. Actually, it's a big tactic. I think it's a big request and then a compromise. So you ask for something that I don't know if that's exactly what they call it, but you basically ask for something big and unreasonable, and then you go back to the thing that you actually wanted. Mm-hmm. And they're more likely to give you the thing that you actually wanted. If you first opened with, can I have $1 million? Okay, well, can I have $1,000? You know?
Right.
So obviously not exactly like that, but that's very, I haven't really used it, but from what I understand, it's a very useful and effective manipulation tactic.
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
I mean, she said it so good. Like, I was like, fuck, dude, I feel like my girl's been doing that shit, bro. Like, I was like, damn it. Like,
And, to some degree, like, if it's just, doing stuff around the house and
But
stuff like that, it's like, it is what it is. And it's just like, it's nice to feel needed. It's nice to feel wanted. And
Exactly.
that's a good way to, even if you didn't need help, asking for help, just to not have to do it, I guess, maybe.
yeah.
But also to make your man feel needed. If we're talking to a woman here, to make your man feel needed, like, ask him to do stuff and act like you can't actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, coming with that, expect to be seen as incapable sometimes with certain things. Like
don't push it, because
don't push it, because then they'll be like, she can't do that,
"Oh,
and then
she fucking
then
sucks."
you'll probably feel a bit demeaned because of that. So be careful with how you use it.
Yeah.
Because
With great power comes great responsibility. Thank you, Uncle Ben.
absolutely. Thank you, Uncle Ben. R.I.P.
Like, no, for real though, because then we would be like, "Fuck, dude, this
Like-
girl's like worthless."
Yeah,
Like,
because
you
you
know.
could get to that point where you're asking him to do everything, and then he's just gonna be like, "This chick is incapable of doing anything for herself."
Yeah.
I might have to reconsider.
Yep,
And then you dug yourself into that hole, and you can't really be mad because you're the one that did it.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a
So be
marriage-
careful about
marriage
that.
tip right there.
Yeah,
but
that's another thing. Be careful about that. But if it's something that you never want to have to ever do again, and it's small enough that, for the most part, it's not a big deal if someone else is always doing it, then yeah, sure. Like reaching high stuff, opening jars, simple stuff like that. It's not that big a deal.
yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Y'all girls are strong too. But
There's
sometimes,
some strong girls. There's some strong girls. But
like, my girl beats me. That's all good.
personally, I would be less attracted to a woman that was stronger than me. I'm not. I don't want to be. I don't want you to have the ability to beat me up.
I
You know what I'm
beat
saying?
me.
Please don't. Please. There's two sides to every coin. Yeah. I'm just not. I don't need a girl that's stronger than me. I don't want that at all.
No.
I don't want to be fucking, and then you flip me over and hold me down, and I can't even do nothing. I'm like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, your cheeks being clapped, boy.
That is a terrifying situation I do not want to be in. Yeah.
Hell no. No,
Hell
no. No, I mean, it's always good to be the pillar of your family as a man.
Oh,
Make
yes,
sure
absolutely.
you put that.
Back to the more serious topic.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, we're getting a little bit off track there. Yeah, like, as a man, be the pillar of your family. I've actually been learning a lot about myself. I've been recently saying that I've been kind of reflecting and kind of like thinking, really.
Yeah.
I've been really hitting those, key points and key, like, values and all that stuff, where I've been like, okay, like, I told myself I was going to, like, kind of reflect and learn and kind of grow from those, like, childish acts and stuff like that. And I'm not saying, like, don't be an asshole and be like, fucking serious all the time, like a fucking grunt. Like, cool, if you want to do that, go for it. But learn how to play too. Like lions are fucking playful too. Like lions with
Yeah.
their fucking
Lions play with their
with
cubs.
lioness and clubs. Yeah, you know, like they play. They you know they're charismatic and all that stuff. I'm not saying we're like lions, but I'm saying like they have that feature as a alpha, you know, dominant, you know, animal. Just like men in a relationship or in a marriage, you know, kind of grow a little, you know, like let your woman know that you're capable of putting your foot down and establishing a strong foundation for your family that's going to be built. You know,
Absolutely.
you don't want to build like some, you know, like in the Bible, you know, brother over here, and mentioning how he kind of lives by the Bible, and me too. Like I
could definitely do better about living by the Bible.
I mean, for those that know me, you guys know that I was a hardcore churchgoer and all that stuff, and you know I slipped off, but whatever. But one of the main things I always like I remember was how, I don't know if you might know this one, but it's how you build your house
on the rock, not on sand.
exactly,
Yeah.
and
With a strong foundation.
burns and all that stuff. I can't quote. Don't judge me on that. Quote me on that, but it's something like that. You don't want to build something on a weak foundation where it's gonna fall, slip. You know, like it might last you a couple months, years, 10 years, but eventually it's gonna fall and break and be a disaster.
The foundation by which you set up your relationships, by which you set up your own life, even say you wanted to be single for your entire life, setting up a strong foundation will allow you to do that while not being completely unhappy with where your life ends up. Because personally, for me, like I'm gonna have to have people in my life. Like I just can't do without people in my life. People that I love, people that I care about, people that care about me and love me. All of that good stuff. Whether it's my actual family members that I'm blood related to, or a family of my own. Like that's something that's always going to be in my life, or even my friends that I might consider family, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so setting that foundation of good relationships, and as you were talking about, like being able to put your foot down and not be walked all over, that's just respect. Like you don't get that. You don't get you don't get respect without being able to put your foot down. Because also, like, something that I've heard is that a woman that doesn't respect you cannot fully love you.
Exactly.
As like a wife.
That's
kind of
facts.
Thing.
Yeah.
And if you can't put your foot down on certain issues, if you can't set boundaries, if you can't be serious about what you're talking about, what you mean, and follow through with it, then she's not going to respect you, let alone other people aren't going to respect you either. And for men especially, that respect is almost where we derive almost all of our value.
Yeah.
Because you gain respect through accomplishment for the most part. For the most part, as a man, you gain respect through accomplishment, whether that's you accomplish building yourself into a person of strong character,
Right,
or through accomplishing your goals, through whatever accomplishments that you want to consider. That's where you derive a lot of respect from, and respect is very necessary for men. We derive a lot of value, a lot of personal worth from how we're respected by our peers, and let alone just people in general.
right. And you're right. Like, I mean, it's like what are you putting into the family, or what are you putting into this, you know, foundation you're building for your family, for your marriage, for your relationship, that gives you the power to be like, no, yes. And don't mistake it with no, toxic masculinity. Like, you don't want to like, there's no such thing as toxic, you know, and just there's only like, there's toxic and there's masculinity. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like there's, you don't want to confuse it, because a lot of people will be like, oh, well, he doesn't let me do this, or he doesn't let me wear this. It's like, hold on.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a hard topic to hit and really like pinpoint, and you got to really think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't want your man to hang out with like a set of women, right? You wouldn't want a man to hang out with his like he has a work best friend and they're hanging outside of work, but why is it okay for you to be or like, let's say you don't like your man liking girls in bikinis or showing their bitties out on Instagram,
that's a big one.
and but you're posting like bikini pics and like showing off your ass and all that stuff. I'm not saying everyone does that. I'm not saying like all the girls are like that. All I'm simply saying it's kind of like that area of like kind of want to fuck. I don't know, but you just want to like what I'm saying, you don't want to like disrespect your man by being like, well, I can do whatever I want. Like it's I'm a woman, blah 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 blah. But know that your man is, respecting you, being loyal to you, building something for not just you and for himself, but for you and him and what's to come from you guys.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I'm over here fucking like, come on,
Jesus. No, I totally know what you mean. So when it comes to what you're kind of getting at with the bikini pics and whether or not he likes bikini pics or versus she's posting bikini pics or dressing a certain way when she goes out to the club. Basically, a man's responsibility in a relationship to a woman is, for the most part, is to provide, to protect, and security. The security of a future, not just like our house is safe, because that falls into protection. But the security is a lot more about protection and provision over time. That's kind of where security comes into the argument. Whereas provision and protection, you can provide and protect for a day, a week, a month, but security is the security that this is going to be indefinite. Like, this is not going to end. And it's going to, at the very least, last until the children are old enough to leave the house. That's where security comes in as most important, in my mind, the way I understand it. And what comes with the protection and provision aspect, as well as security aspect of the man's role, is if he has the responsibility to provide, protect, and give security, then he has to at least have some authority over how he gives that protection. You know what I'm saying? And so, everyone likes to talk about how, well, a woman shouldn't be judged for how she dresses, and just because she dresses one way doesn't mean she's a hoe or whatever. Yeah, because you can put on a costume. Just because I go out on Halloween as the Winter Soldier doesn't mean I'm actually the Winter Soldier and can mess up people like he can. But at the same time, when you present yourself a certain way, you're going to be treated a certain way. If you show up to a job interview dressed like a hooker, they're not going to take you seriously. If you show up in nice, business-appropriate attire, you're going to be seen more seriously.
I mean, that goes for guys, too. You fucking show up in a jersey or some shit. Like,
if you show up in this shirt, like, if I showed up to a job interview looking like this, they're probably not going to take me very seriously because I don't look like I'm taking them seriously.
Exactly.
This is a very casual outfit, regardless of whether or not you think it looks nice. And
I thought it looked nice.
Thank you. I think it looks nice, too.
That's party ready.
I am. But no, so, like, you have to take that into account. And so the problem is that, and that's why I brought up the people will treat you the way you present yourself. If you present yourself in a way that, a lot of hookers also present themselves, people, they're not going to know who you are. They're just going to make that first judgment based off how you look, because everyone does that regardless of whether you think the most progressive person in the world is going to make snap judgments based on how people look, just because that's what humans are evolved to do. You avoid things that are dangerous because you don't know whether or not they're dangerous. So if it looks dangerous, just going to steer clear of that. That's just basic survival tactics. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If you see a situation that might be dangerous, you're going to be a bit more cautious than, if you see something that's obviously safe, regardless. Anyway, so when a man is telling you you shouldn't go out like that, it's not necessarily that he's insecure about, some guy might get you, might seduce you or whatever. It's because for me personally, I'm not going to end up in a relationship with someone that I don't trust to not fuck around on me. You know what I'm saying? What I'm more worried about if my girl goes out looking a certain way is the other guys and how they're going to treat her. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how men can be. Because
Oh.
as a man, I know how men can be.
Absolutely.
And I've seen men act super crazy, stupid ways just because they think with their dicks before their brains. And so that's more of a protection aspect when you typically, yeah, there is a possessive aspect to it. And we can get into that, you know, like women aren't property, technically, obviously. But as far as like relationships and marriage go, specifically marriage, really, there's kind of a property-ish aspect. I don't like using the word property because it's not technically property, but that's like the easiest like offhand, shorthand way to say it. Because like my woman is my woman, not someone else's. And there's the loyalty aspect of it is she's mine and I'm hers kind of thing. Okay. It's like we're both each other's. It's a hard. There's a lot of nuance in the property kind of women as property in a relationship. There's a lot of nuance to that whole conversation. I'm not trying to go all like Muslim Quran on it because women are not property. I want to be very clear about that. But in terms of a marriage, there's like an aspect of it that might be described as property, but a little bit more nuance. Anyway,
That's so crazy how I have a different opinion. I find it's so crazy. I'm more of a I don't know how to explain this. I'm more of like a free, you know, like spiritually free, you know what I'm saying? Like if my woman chooses to one day get up and go,
yeah,
there you go,
that's
fucking hand
her,
again. Jesus.
That's her prerogative. She can get up and go.
It's her choice.
Yeah, it's her
she can
choice.
get up and go, you know. And then I know this sounds a little cliche, you know, if you love something, let it go, and if it comes back and it's truly meant for you, blah 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 blah. What I'm trying to get at is like I don't own her, and she doesn't own me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I choose to be with her, and I know she chooses to be with me. And to that moment fades, or that moment ends, or like she no longer chooses to be with me, I totally accept that, and it's gonna hurt. I get it.
Yeah.
But with that actually comes great character development. And that's fucking amazing.
That's kind of where I got to where I'm at, how I got to where I'm at in the gym and stuff. Like a lot of dudes, it's after a bad breakup that they end up going to the gym and transforming entirely. That's kind of exactly how it was for me. I was planning on doing this transformation regardless of whether or not I stayed in that relationship. But after the relationship, I went hard on the paint. I'll tell you that.
See, that's that.
Because I had time to go as hard as I went.
That's that Super Saiyan transformation right there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But
I would say it's more like a
Senso bean.
what?
Senso bean?
No. Different anime. God, why can I not? It's more of an Uchiha Sharingan transformation because you go through the pain that gives you the strength kind of thing. Because that's like the whole idea behind the Sharingan. I don't know if you guys are anime nerds, but the Sharingan basically is if you go through emotional pain, then you unlock another level to your Sharingan, which is like way stronger, whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All that nerdy stuff that's got some philosophy hidden underneath it.
You're not wrong. Like I'm all for it. Like I remember I fucking just got into the gym super like straight, like into nothing but the gym, super strict.
Yeah.
And after one of my breakups, and I remember my best friend, he can confirm, you know, like I did a cut, got super lean, super like just I was able to see my abs. I got like just I was so disciplined. But you know what I find a lot more beautiful now that I'm older, you know, I feel myself like I'm not old, but I'm not young. I feel like I'm like in the middle, but I really feel like I have an old soul. Yeah. I find it very beautiful when you're able to transform within a relationship.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're not just doing it for the relationship, but you're doing it for yourself within the relationship. I don't know if that makes sense.
That would be more a more accurate definition of interdependency as opposed to codependency.
Yeah.
Because if you're codependent, you're kind of relying on the other person. It's more of a both interdependent and codependent. They're symbiotic relationships. They're two parties that benefit off of each other in certain ways. But a codependent relationship is a lot more parasitic than, you know, mutually symbiotic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so like, shoot, I was gonna go into something off of that. Can't really remember what I was gonna go into.
The way I feel, like, you know, right now, like myself, I'm in a relationship, right? We're like very committed, really into it. Like, the reason why I'm working out is because, like, one, that has always been, like, ever since I lost weight and like really got into the gym and saw really what my body can become and what it did to my mindset when I was really into the gym, really disciplined. It just brings back those memories that I need to achieve that. But that season of myself, that thing is like way gone. Now that I'm older, a little bit more mature, more understanding, a little bit more wiser, I'm able to put those old habits of like going to the gym, good habits, you know, into this new season of myself, the new greater version of myself that I'm building, that I'm trying to achieve here. And I find it great because I do want to always have like lifting, physical, you know, fitness, gym, something like that involved in within my family. Like, I want my woman to be involved. I want my children to be involved. I want my grandkids to be involved. I want them to be in it because it's a great thing. It's a good thing, and it's something that's going to benefit them not just physically but mentally and emotionally. And that's a fact. If you guys are not going to the gym, if you guys used to go to the gym and now are like trying to get back in it, get back in it. It's going to help you it's like one of the things that no one can take away from you.
Yeah.
Except yourself.
Yeah.
And I know kind of went off on a tangent here, but like personally, the fact that I'm doing this within a relationship really makes me proud of my own self, and knowing that this is who really I am by working out and trying to build myself within my relationship and build my relationship as well, showing my woman that I am also disciplined on my own. And then I don't want my kid, like, so basically I don't want my kid to, let's say, like on Father's Day or my birthday, you know, it comes down to like, what are they gonna write on that card? What are they gonna think of me when I am like 40, you know, 50 or whatever, and you know they're at that age where they're actually starting to really think about things, you know what I'm saying? And I could be like, oh, my dad's a fucking drunk. Oh, he's fucking cool. Fucking, oh, my dad, blah, blah, blah. Like, joke. A fucking joke. A dad joke, bro. Or are they going to be like, are they going to wake up and be like, damn, bro, my dad's a fucking, like,
A badass.
my dad's a fucking goat, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and I want them to brag about me to their friends and be like, dude, my dad's a fucking pimp, dog. Like,
the way I put it is like, in elementary school, all these kids are always like, my dad could beat up your dad, blah, 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 blah. I want that shit to be true.
facts.
I want that shit to be true. I want everyone to know that I could beat the fuck out of anybody.
And I want to walk into that fucking parent-teacher conference.
Yeah. Not that I'm going to, but I could.
And I want those fucking men to be like intimidated, and not like in a like how I'm better than you, but like more or less in like, fuck, dude, if this motherfucker can do it with 4 or 5 kids, not saying I'm gonna have 4 or 5 kids, but you know, I like be like, fuck, why am I not doing it? You know, maybe give them that motivation, maybe give them that hope of they have a chance. Maybe approach me in a good way, you know, like obviously you're not gonna be a dick about you being strong and powerful in your relationship, and just because you're big and strong doesn't mean your relationship is healthy.
Yeah, there are a lot of bodybuilders that are messed up mentally. That's probably why they're bodybuilders, is because they can't. They're working on themselves, and the pain that they're experiencing in their lives is kind of what motivates them in the gym, and why they've gotten to the point that they've gotten. A lot of times, that's how it is. I mean, we were just talking about it. After a relationship, a lot of guys go into the gym, and there are a lot of guys that it's almost like a one-track mind kind of thing, where they're so focused on the physical development that they completely miss out on the mental and spiritual development. Now, I will say that when you're working on yourself physically, this is me personally, I think that as a man, it's so important to take on physical hardship whether it's a labor job, whether it's, working out, playing a sport, whatever the case may be, you got to take on some physical hardship, because back to the natural explanation of things is like men were the hunters. Like you were literally like running around with a spear trying to tag some elephants to feed the village.
Fuck yeah.
And if you were incapable of doing that, you were looked down on. Like, well, go hang out with the women and pick berries. That's basically how it was seen. And you just didn't really survive as well and work as well with the other men. And, for the most part, those types of men ended up dying off because of back when it was imperative that a man was physically capable. The men that weren't typically ended up not making it, just because like they wouldn't have been attractive to the women, because the women needed a man that could provide and protect. And that physical strength is where the protection comes in.
Yeah.
As well as provision.
Something fucked up I used to think like the berry pickers used to fuck your wife while you're out there hunting and killing yourself.
That's very possible.
Kind of like the warriors are out there, thank you for your service, you soldiers. You get those bitches out here fucking. That was a perspicacious. Yeah. Remember the word that I brought in? I think it was perspicacity. You're a fucking dictionary, man.
I try. My mom was an English major, and she definitely graded all of my papers and gave me recommendations on what words I should replace. So it's good. That is why I am the way I am.
That's good.
In a big way. But yeah, I like learning new words and expanding my vocabulary.
That's great. Oh, fuck yeah. I like that.
Listen to a lot of, I finished, what did I listen to? I listened to Road to Wigan Pier by George Orwell, which is a study on 1930s England. And then I finished, so I started A Brave New World. That one was good. Oh, I finished Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. That's a really good, that's like, that's pretty much required reading for law students.
You got to send me some of those recommendations. Like, you should send me a list, honestly.
I have 71 books in my Audible collection.
Send them, because
I haven't read all of them, but I've read a lot of them.
I used to be a reader in high school, believe it or not.
I was too.
My cousin got me into it. He's like, "Dude, you should read this book." I was like, "Fuck it," I was like, "I'll join the hype," and I did. And I'm glad I did. I read a good amount of books. Can't remember all of them I read, but I know I read some, and I got really into it. Some had movies, some didn't, but I am glad I kind of got into that little phase for a while. And I kid you not, I loved it. And honestly, it just blew my mind on how amazing reading does to you.
Oh yeah, reading is. So if you're reading fiction, this isn't a value judgment on different genres. If you're reading fiction, it builds your imagination. I read, did you ever hear about Aragon, the Aragon series? Yeah, so I read that entire series like 3 or 4 times, up to the point that my parents were like worried. They're like, he's really into these books. So they started, and my parents were like super traditional Christian and like very religious, because they knew there was like magic and stuff in the books. So they were like witchcraft and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so they were like, yeah, this is to the point. The obsession with which you read these books, it's like escapism at this point, so you can't read these anymore. And I understand where they were coming from, because I think they were right, but it still sucked. And so that's where I switched over to like nonfiction. Okay. And nonfiction helps you develop a different perspective, a broader perspective by which to look at the world and look at your own life, look at other people's lives, and to have a respect and understanding that everyone really is so different, and everyone's experience of the world that we all live in. We all live on the same planet, but we all experience it in so many different ways, with so many different experiences based on so many different perspectives based on our experiences. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So reading, it helps you build your imagination if it's nonfiction, but it also helps you develop a broader perspective and a respect for other perspectives when it's nonfiction.
No, yeah, I believe you.
Yeah.
And especially like nonfiction, I feel it's more of a like learning self-guiding, building
Yeah.
off what you already know,
Yeah.
or even when you're learning new things.
Yeah.
As into like fiction, it's all mostly as like stuff where it builds your imagination. Honestly, when I was reading fiction, it got to the point where I felt like I wasn't even reading anymore. I was literally playing a movie in my mind.
Yeah.
Like,
That's kind of how it is.
It was insane.
Yeah.
Like there'd be times where I'd pause and be like, "What the fuck?" And literally, I'd wow myself because I'd be like, one, I don't remember reading any of this. I just remember seeing it in my mind. Like I imagined it in my mind.
Yeah.
I'll be reading the words somehow, but at the same time, it would be like playing like a film in my head, which is, I feel like I've always had a big imagination.
Yeah.
Ever since a kid, like I feel like I think more with my imagination, and I visualize things a lot more, and that's why I feel like I'm a visual learner. When it comes to things, I need to see things how they are, and then be like, "Oh, okay, cool, got it."
Yeah.
Or like, but that's a lie too. That's a big lie, because when it came to the class I was taking this past semester, which is like my EMT course and stuff like that, it came to a lot of like actual like just like facts, like things you need to learn, things you need to know.
Just cram this stuff in your brain.
Exactly, but it got to the point where I actually got very like involved. It just like this switch just went. It just hit, and I was able to understand everything I was reading and actually comprehend everything. I'm like, oh, and I'll read it again and again and again until I actually envisioned it. And then I'll look at the pictures. I'll look it up online. I'll look at videos, and then I put the videos with what I read together, and it was just that like I know my like you got to work with what you have.
Yeah.
And I was working with my imagination side, so I'd read, and then I'd also watch videos, and I put it together, and I got to the point where I would read, and I would just envision what I was reading, and it was amazing. I was like, oh, now every time that someone says a little tiny little script of what I read, or close to what I read, it would just play in my mind of what I was reading or what they're talking about, and I'm like, oh, it's this and this and that. Like it'll just play the whole thing like a YouTube video in my head, which is crazy. At least that's how I think. I don't know if other people think like that. If they do, cool. If you do, awesome. If you don't, then that's you, and that's fine. But that's how I see. That's how I learned, and I think that's amazing for me, at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of off topic here.
No, we're good. We're
This
good.
is awesome.
Hey,
I fucking love it.
we're always on topic because the topic is what it is. You know what I'm saying? The topic is whatever we're talking about because it's our podcast.
I'm actually hyped today. I don't know why.
That's good.
I'm
glad.
glad
I'm enjoying the energy. I'm glad you're back too, bro.
I'm glad I'm back.
We gotta get more consistent with it, though.
I know. I feel like we're taking
gotta
too many vacations.
we gotta
too,
make
but
this more important than everything else.
honestly, yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
what I was thinking on the plane ride back from Vegas.
That's good. I'm glad.
I was like, no, we need to fucking like being out there
We need to go hard.
and seeing people like literally ballers, bro. Like I'd get on the elevator. I was going to floor 11. These fuckers were hitting penthouse, and I was like, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck are you?
What do you do?
Yeah,
Teach me your
I
ways.
was like, what the fuck do you do?
Teach me your ways.
Or these people that were just like, it cost us a lot of money. We got this little section.
That's why I didn't go.
Literally, the section was as big as this little fucking right here.
Yeah.
Fucking it was a fucking grand. And in bottle service, we got bottle service for the birthday girl.
I can't even imagine.
We paid like, I think it was like 150 each, my girl and I, because we were both drinking from bottles, so we paid 150 each. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm really glad I didn't go because I had the money to do that. I'm trying to get another car though, so that's not something I should do.
I know, I understand. I understand why you didn't go, and that's smart. I kind of regret spending all that fucking money. I spent almost $1,500. My girl spent another like $1,200.
See, the way you do it, the way you got to do it is you got to network with people. You got to learn who the promoters of the different clubs are. And then you got to be like, hey, I'm so-and-so. I do this and this. I've got some girls that I can bring to your club if you want to give us a table and some bottle service because these promoters, they need girls at the clubs.
We got lucky.
You did.
So one of the guys that the birthday girl knew actually got us in for free into a club
Okay.
that usually guys pay about $200 to get in.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're welcome, guys." Like, you know, he was just saying like, he's like, usually guys pay like $200 something to get in.
Well, you were like one of the only guys, right?
No, it was himself, my best friend Joey, and then some other guy named forgot his name, and then me. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 guys, and I think like 4 girls. So 4 guys and 4 girls.
Oh, okay.
So
So
like,
good ratio.
So like 7 or 8.
Decent ratio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
7 or 8 people, and then so he got us in for free. So we got into the club for free, and the girls got in for free.
That's awesome.
And then yeah, because apparently that guy got along really well with the DJ at the bar they were at drinking.
Gotcha.
My buddy, I think that guy bought a drink for the DJ, and the DJ brought him a drink, some shit like that.
They were just having a good conversation,
Right?
or something,
Like
kind of
they
thing,
just clicked,
like
you know.
Clicked, yeah.
And then eventually the guy's like, "Hey, I'm DJing at up at the so and so. I forgot what it's called. Like, excuse me, Teo or Tao or something. It's
I don't
like
know.
this club in
I wasn't there.
Vegas. I don't know either. I just showed up and I was like, cool. I guess we're getting here for free. Sweet. And then we got in there. Drinks, bro.
Drinks are crazy expensive.
Drinks.
Bro,
Okay,
I want to own a club solely because of the upcharge on drinks.
It's
You can
insane.
charge so much for drinks, and a bottle's what? Like, if you own a club, you get wholesale prices. So you get a bottle of, I don't know how much 1942 is, but you get a bottle of 1942, maybe $50, but you can sell it for 150. You can make 3 times profit.
It's
Or no, you get what is that? It's 300%.
it's robbery. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's you're
You make
you're,
$100 off of 50.
you're freely saying yes, take my fucking money, and I'm gonna be cool and tip you too.
Yeah,
No,
Yeah.
go fuck yourself. If I'm paying $120 for 3 drinks and 2 shots,
that's why you got to own the club, bro.
get the fuck out of here.
You got to
Holy
own
shit,
the
dude.
club.
$120?
That's why you got to own the club.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That shit better come with a fucking dick suck. What the fuck? What?
Nah, I'm cool off
Like,
of
hold on. Like, I was like, oh, I got this. Like, you know, I got money. You know, like, my budget was like about $800. Once I saw that, like, she put the receipt down. She's like, there you go. I was like,
yeah, nah. I'm cool off of all the partying and entertaining and all of that stuff until after I have the money to do it. I don't need to do all that extra stuff. I'd rather spend the
don't
time
need
that I
to
would
either.
have. I know. Why'd you do it? No, I understand why you did it.
I mean,
it was one of your close friends.
it was, I mean,
For me, it was easy to say no because I didn't know anyone other than you. But for you, it's like it's your girl and your girl's friends and your friends. So it's like it's a lot closer friend group. So it's harder to say no for you than it was for me,
yeah, there's
just
like,
because I only knew you. And that cute Asian chick she was pretty cute. I was looking forward to it before, but you know I would rather just not spend the money. And there's always cute chicks.
yeah, you're good.
Cute chicks turning 18 every day.
Okay. Okay.
It's not that I'm gonna go for 18-year-olds, but you get what I'm saying.
Eventually, I'll get there.
Eventually, over 21 is typically best. Anyways,
They built character before. You know,
Yeah.
they've
got to build some character.
they have built character. Yeah.
Yeah, we all got to build character.
No, dude, it was just it was fun though.
That's good.
It was fun. I had
That's
a great
good.
time. I actually got to enjoy it for once because I've been to Vegas 2 times, and this would have been my 3rd time. The other past 2 times, one was for New Year's, which I had a blast with my woman, but it was like we barely got to do anything. And then the first time I was like, I think it was 8. No, I wasn't 18. I was it was like 15. Yeah, I was 15. But you know, you can't do anything when you're 15. It was
Yeah.
boring. And I was there with my aunt, so I couldn't really like say I wanted to go do this and do that. You know, I kind of do what she wanted to do.
Yeah,
But this time it was cool because we got to go to different places, got to see different things, and got to experience like the ice bar, which I thought was really cool. Expensive, but it was really cool.
for
Everything was made of ice, and then we went to this other bar called Foundation, which was at the rooftop, You can kind of see like the whole city, which was awesome. I thought that was
Crazy.
great.
We call it foundation, but it's on the roof.
I know. Oh,
We live in a very upside down world, brother.
that was that's interesting. I didn't think about that.
That was the first thing I thought about. Foundation roof bar. Huh? I don't know. I don't know if I want to see the foundation. If it's on the roof, y'all got some messed up priorities if your foundation's on the roof.
That was I didn't think about that one. That's cool. That's actually pretty cool. I didn't think about that. Nice. Good catch.
Thanks.
I did not put that together.
That was my first thought.
Just like Mariposa, my girl the other day, she was like, "Oh, mariposa," and I'm just like, "Huh? That's what fucking mariposa means in Spanish."
What does mariposa mean?
Mariposa, which is butterfly.
Oh, okay.
So the word is actual mariposa, but the white version is mariposa, which that translation to mariposa to English is actually butterfly.
Okay.
So it's a Spanish word, but they converted. They didn't convert it. They just sounded out in white.
Sound out white? You mean English?
I'm so racist. Jesus Christ. I'm actually crying, bro. Where's the sound effect for that? There you go.
That was wow. I'm using that from now on. I'm never saying I speak English again.
What do you speak? White?
I speak white. Oh my God, that's amazing.
I'm actually crying right now.
There are many dialects to white.
I'm laughing in tears.
You can speak German white. You can speak Swedish white, Polish white, Russian white, but it's all white.
Jesus Christ, bro. I can't believe I just said that. Brain cells of 3 right there. It's like a monkey with a microphone right now. They just sounded out in white.
That's hilarious. That's so good. We're definitely gonna make that a clip. Wow. That's gonna have to be a clip. That's pretty great. No, actually, you're gonna have to listen for that one. We're about 50 minutes in when that happened. Yeah, people are gonna have to listen for that one. That's some gold you're only gonna get on the podcast. That's funny.
No, we should make that a clip and put that in there.
Yeah,
and be like new episode or something, and then like
that. Yeah, that could be like the clip to advertise the episode.
That would be perfect.
That would be perfect.
Oh my God,
that's a good point.
That was
we'll do it like
fucking
that.
Hilarious.
That was hella funny.
Oh, where the fuck are we at? We're like, we fucking just got on a spaceship and just flew off to outer space right now because we have no idea where we're at. But this is going great. Oh,
this is going wonderfully.
God, that was embarrassing.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
That was comical.
That was really good. I'm really glad that happened.
It's like that one. What's that one movie? It's like, can I get my coffee?
Yes,
black? And it's like. Can you wait?
No, the dude.
No,
it's the movie Airplane, and I don't know if this is where it's originally from. For some reason, I feel like it came from something else. But the movie Airplane, it's like this 2 little kids on the airplane, and this little girl gets coffee, and this little boy walks up, and he's got like a little plate, and he's like, you know, trying to schmooze her, trying to put the moves on her, and he was like, "Would you like cream and sugar?" And he was like, or she was like, "No, I like my coffee. I take my coffee black." She takes I take my coffee black like my men, and she takes a sip. And it's like 2 little kids. It's a hilarious scene.
No, this is like with that one dude from Pineapple Express.
Oh, I've seen that movie.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
It's not that. It's like the black dude from Pineapple Express. What's his name? God, I wish I really knew his name. I feel so fucked up for not knowing his name. He's really funny.
Pineapple Express is with Seth Rogen, and James Franco.
And then the other characters in that movie.
I don't remember any of the other characters, honestly.
He comes out also in This Is the End.
Oh, I think I know who you're
You know what
talking.
I'm
He's a
talking
comedian,
Yes.
bigger dude.
Funny.
He's got like a goatee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't remember his name.
They were like, so him and his friend were talking, and then like there's this guy waiting in line behind him. He's like, "Can I get a coffee, black?" Like saying, "I want a black coffee," you know.
Yeah.
And then like he returns the answers like, "Can't you see we're talking? White."
Yes. No, I do remember that. Yes. Yeah, that is a good
That shit
scene.
was funny.
I
Oh
love
my
that.
god, it kind of reminded me of that. Fuck, dude.
That is funny.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I don't think I can recover from that. That was hilarious.
that was really good. That's my new favorite moment of this entire podcast. I don't know if I had a favorite moment, but that is it, and it's going to be really hard to beat that. It's going to be really hard.
I know if Adam's watching this or he watches this, he's gonna be fucking laughing at
He's
that.
going to be
'cause
dying.
This is tough. This is how I speak when I'm around him.
Yeah,
Like he knows. He's like dude. This guy, you know Adam.
I love Adam.
So Adam's our friend.
That's the boy.
He is white,
He's so white. He does
And-
not. He seasons his chicken with salt and pepper.
and that's spicy for him. No, I'm just kidding. No.
I'm not even kidding though.
Bro, I be speaking like how I speak like down in SoCal. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure, bro. Like blah blah blah, blah. Like in a certain way. He's like, what does that mean? And I was like, what you talking about, my guy? Like,
Oh, I have moments like that with Adam
and
all
he's
the
like,
time.
what does that mean? I was like, oh my god, like,
Oh,
he's like,
you're white.
he's like, I don't know your SoCal talk, and I was like, fuck, you're right, shit. Like, so I gotta like,
This man's grew up in Auburn. You got to remember that.
yeah,
Auburn and Roseville. So it's pretty white. He's
Yeah.
pretty white.
it is, but I think
Love
it's
him to death. Super white.
great guy. I miss working with him. I don't see him as much anymore.
That's a bummer.
I know.
That is a bummer. I don't see him as much anymore, and I live with him. So, because he's working night shifts most of the time. And then he has school. So he's got like 24, 36-hour days
Oh yeah, poor dude.
this month.
He's getting
Yeah.
beat.
He's getting beat.
Yeah, I feel bad. That's gonna be me next semester, so
Yeah.
that's gonna be a little tough for me. I'll manage though.
Yeah.
I manage.
You'll make it.
I know I
You'll
can
make
do
it.
and I'll be on here too. I know. I'll set aside some time and be here. I know I will.
Yeah. You will.
I can handle.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But back to the main topic of a man's responsibility in a marriage. Actually, we didn't even get into, do you want to be married?
Oh, of course I want to be married.
I'm proposing, actually. Wait, you're like, what?
I was like, come again?
Coming in? No.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I definitely want to get married at some point too. It's just because I want kids, and there's just not really a great way to do that unless you get married.
you know, I feel like marriage has changed a lot.
It has, because the
Nowadays.
state has made it terrible.
You know, something I kind of mentioned to my woman. I was like, what if we don't get married by the state, but we get married by a church?
That's what I would like to do,
what I'm saying?
honestly. Yeah.
And she's like, why? Like, well, I was like,
Why not?
what do I gain from getting married to you from the state? The only thing I gain is the risk of losing everything. And once you decide
That's
to
not
leave me,
that's not a gain. That's you take on a risk of losing everything should she decide for whatever reason she wants, because we have no fault divorce in this country.
so sad.
It's very sad, and it's honestly, there are a lot of things that have led to the fall of the nuclear family in this country. No fault divorce being one of them.
I mean,
One of the big ones.
you get cheating, you get lack of money.
Bro, I've heard stories of, like, I think it was in New York, where this chick and her kids from another guy moved in with this other guy. She married the guy, and then shortly after, maybe a few years later, got divorced. And the guy has to pay child support for those kids that aren't even his, just because he was married to the mom at one point.
I don't know.
No, thank you.
No.
Well, first off, I'm not marrying a chick with kids. That's first.
Same. I can't do it. I'm so sorry.
I had a stepdad, and it worked out great for me, but I would much prefer not to do that.
You know, knock on wood, whatever. But I don't think I could. Personally, I can't.
Could I? Yes. Will I? Do I want to? Hell no.
Yeah, like I don't want those stickers that says not the man that was there, but something like stepped up, the stepdad that stepped up or some shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
nah,
get the fuck
I'm
out of
good.
here, bro.
I'm good.
I'm
I'd
sorry.
rather not.
I'd rather be
Like,
the dad that's there.
all respect to stepdads that are doing good jobs, because that is a challenge to have a constant reminder that you pay for, that you feed, that you house, that you clothe, that your woman had kids by another person. That constant reminder is just that there's a little bit of a psychological drain there,
Yeah, good for you. Like
just a little bit.
I mean, look, like not gonna lie, if you're like a stepdad or something, great and good for you.
Yeah.
Honestly, because
Absolutely, that's a very hard role to take on.
you took
It's a
you
very
took
challenging role
if
to
you're
take on.
really there for
Mad respect.
for like the woman, you know, you want to be with that woman, the wife, but you're also there for her kids, and like really taking that father
Really doing it.
figure and role. Good for you.
Absolutely. Good for you. Mad respect. Really nothing but respect. However, I don't want to do that.
Because yeah, you know, personally I can't, but you know, I'm saying it's like, you know, don't be that guy that just comes into the family to make it worse than what already was, or you know, just come in there just because you want the woman but not the kids. You know, like
I think a big problem with that is that there are a lot of guys that can't get anything else. You know what I mean? Because like women that have kids are a bit more in a bit more of a desperate position than most women, especially just women without kids. And so a guy that knows that he's not quite up to par to be able to get a woman that doesn't have kids and stuff like that might take on that responsibility solely so that he's just not alone anymore. And you never want to enter a relationship for the purpose of not being alone. That's how you get codependency. And then you get parasitic relationships. And that's where the bad stepfather relationship kind of comes in. That's my theory. That's my thinking. That's what I think is probably happening. Just a lot of dudes that couldn't get anything better. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of women that have kids that are like my mom, phenomenal. My mom didn't take my dad to court to get child support because she didn't want another black man in the system. Because she understood how like men are treated by the child support system, by the divorce court system, and things like that. And she very well could have, like, she had every right, every reason, and didn't take my dad to child support court. And I love my dad, but he was very irresponsible. So he very well could have gotten taken to child support court. So, like, first off, my mom put up a very high standard. She set a very, very good example of what a wife looks like, kind of thing. And because she married my stepdad and all of that, and she fulfilled the duties of a wife very well, very dutifully, because she's super Christian, super religious. Same with my stepdad, and so that worked out. But at the same time, I don't want to be a stepdad. Not at all.
Yeah, man. I mean, I personally don't think I could either. But that's just me, and that's your opinion, my opinion. But those that do, I mean, that's great. You also got to think about those guys that can't have kids.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those guys, I would recommend not divorce, adoption, because there are plenty of kids out there that need to be adopted. And secondly, there's tons of regulation on who can adopt. That I haven't looked into it because I haven't tried to adopt a kid yet. But from what I understand, it's arbitrarily difficult to adopt a child.
Really?
And it's like super unnecessarily difficult. Obviously, there needs to be a stability and financial aspect to who qualifies to adopt a child, because you don't want to send a kid from super unstable foster care situation or
to
a worse situation, because that does happen. And there are people that abuse the foster care system to get money from the government, for sure, because you do get money from the government for taking in foster kids, and those people that do that probably gonna burn in hell. That's probably what's gonna happen, because there's a lot of people that take in kids solely for the government money and do not give a damn about those kids. I've seen it. It's so sad. I have a lot of resentment for those types of people.
Yeah. And that's good. That goes the same for fathers that leave their children.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and you know, that's another thing I actually really thought about. You know, you got those people that, you know, have kids and then they kind of just said, "Fuck it."
Yeah, like the kids don't matter.
Like the parents that just disappear. Like the dad is like I could never imagine that. Dude.
I can't imagine it for myself. I can imagine it if it's like.
But you know where that comes from? The same shit that happened to them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's all generational curses and family demons and stuff like that.
It's like because speaking out of like something I see, I'm like, you know, like my dad, great person, and I'm not talking bad about him. He's a phenomenal person, phenomenal dad. I love him. You know, great guy. He taught me a lot, like hard worker. He taught me all that, like, you know, hard work, be tough, you know, all that stuff. Learn how to learn how to take a punch. Learn how to fucking work when you're tired. You're like running on 1%. Like,
yeah,
you're like a fucking mule. Like you're fucking just pushing.
Got to learn how to be a workhorse.
Great.
Yeah,
that's great. But I noticed that's
the male.
That's like
men have to do.
Yeah, that's the man, the male alpha
duty.
Dominance type of thing. Okay, that's great. But the thing that was missing, that the only thing that he saw from his dad was the emotional side, the mentality side, the thinking side, you know, the reflection side. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I feel like he didn't get that from his dad, so what he only got was the work hard, provide, and be there for your family. That's it.
Yep.
But never what do you do when a certain situation comes like this with a family member? How do you like you know, it's hard for me to, when someone's like sad or in distress or going through some difficult emotional like trouble, I don't know how to like, I'm like, okay, like a little tap on the shoulder, like I'm sorry, and kind of fucking walk away, like, oh shit, like,
yeah.
Like,
I would say for those types of situations, it's like just listening, being there to listen, and do your best to understand from their perspective is the best thing that you can do for that person. If they're confiding in you about some family situation, some drama, some whatever. Now, because also you have to worry about whether or not they just need a vent to someone, because that's a huge thing, is like, I just need to get this off my chest. I need someone to listen, to hear me right now, all of that. And that's a very important thing for everyone to do, man, woman, child, whoever. Men, talk to your boys about stuff. I actually had a conversation with one of my buddies about, because women complain about men not being emotional enough and not sharing their emotions, and that's true. We do struggle to share our emotions a lot of times, but at the same time, part of the reason that men, I don't want to say shouldn't be vulnerable with their women, but there's a bit of a downside. So if you look into the Bible, there's a story about Samson. You hear about that? You ever? Yeah.
I like that story.
That's a really good story. Samson was top G. He was like, there was a story, he killed 50 men with the jaw of a mule, because they were trying to kill him. He didn't just go on a fucking killing rampage, but these men were trying to kill him, and he defeated them with the jaw of a mule, wrestled lions with his bare hands. And like, he was the guy. He was the alpha. And there was this girl named Delilah that was trying to find the source of his strength and would ask him what the source of his strength is. And so, they're cuddling and whatnot, all the pillow talk, like, where do you get your strength, blah, blah, blah. And he would just tell her some BS, that it was his beard or I can't remember what the various, things that he told her that were not true. And then after he said it was his beard, some men snuck into his tent and tried to shave off his beard, and then he beat them all away. Eventually, he did tell her, I think she got him drunk or something, and he did tell her it was his hair, that he promised to God that he would never cut his hair. And so eventually, men came in, they cut his hair off, and he lost all of his strength. And
they blinded him too, right?
I think they did. Yeah. The moral of the story is not necessarily don't trust women or don't cut your hair or anything like that. It's more like be careful who you share your vulnerabilities with, because there are always people that will try and use them against you.
That's good.
So you have to be very, very careful and very selective with who you share your vulnerabilities with.
Absolutely.
Because they will use it against you. And something I've noticed is that a lot of times in relationships, women test their men. And it's kind of a good thing, because they're trying to make sure they're testing them to make sure that they're genuinely as undefeatable as they think they are. Because for the most part, women aren't going to be with you if they think you're going to be easily defeated by a challenge, by some difficulty, by some words, by whatever. But at the same time, your woman has to have your back just as much as you have their back. And you can't be at odds with each other all the time and talking all kinds of mad stuff. Like, that's just not a good environment. Like, when a man comes home, he wants peace in the household. And that's kind of where the women's roles of, housekeeping, cooking, raising kids, all of that comes in, is because the man is out there fighting demons, fighting lions and tigers and bears or whatnot, back again in the hunter-gatherer days. And he's not trying to come home and have all of this chaos at home when he was just out fighting all of this chaos outside of the home. He wants to come home, have some peace, play with the kids, do all of that, make love to his wife, whatever. And while we both have the roles of working now in the modern age with men and women both in the workforce and things like that, that being said, we still want peace at home. We don't want to come home. No one wants to come home after working all day and then fight with their spouse. You know what I'm saying? So it's just bring that peace. I'm trying to get myself to a point where the woman that I'm with doesn't have to work. If she wants to work, she can.
Same.
But I don't want her to have to work.
I want my woman to be at home. I want her to maintain this home.
Absolutely.
I want her to raise our children.
Absolutely.
To be stress free. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want her to just, take roles of the home. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, cook, have everything ready. If I ask, like, hey babe, like, I've been really wanting to eat this, or hey, I want a meal prep. Can you cook my meals? And they'll be ready.
That would be phenomenal.
When I leave, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm also gonna be helping out too.
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking asshole. Like,
yeah.
If I see something that needs to be picked up and I see that she's tired, of course I'm gonna clean the whole thing for her.
Yeah.
If she needs a break,
a balance.
I'll take care of a kid. I'll take care of Junior. Let's go.
Absolutely.
For it. Like, I want to also take role in my child. Like, I want to take him out. I want to teach him things. I want to, like,
yep.
And that's how it should be. I know nowadays it's a little harder for people to do stuff like that because of how crazy busy we are. And
I'd say it's a lot harder.
I believe so.
I think it's a lot harder.
But then again, I know a friend told me that there's no, what did he say? He said, the reputation you have doesn't really, I'm not saying it doesn't really matter, but he said it more as in like, it's not worth losing out time on your family that you're building
Yes.
or on your child.
Yes.
Like if you need to work your hours, work your hours. Maybe an extra day here or there too. But if you have family at home, go home to your family.
Yeah.
Go home to your kid.
Absolutely.
Don't miss out on those times.
That's
Don't miss out on those like precious moments that you have with them that you're never gonna get back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
absolutely. That's why I'm trying to build something like this right now, is so that like I can set that foundation and have something that is bringing home the bacon in a way that I can still be there for my kids once I have them. And I'm trying to I'm building that foundation right now before I have the kids, so that when I do have the kids, I can afford to spend the time on them as opposed to spending the time on scrambling to make sure that they have enough, kind of thing. And that's really, really important to me, because I agree. Like, once you have kids, for me, there's nothing more important than those kids. Like once I have kids, my life and my goals and dreams are second to making sure that they have the best possible foundation built in them to become fully functioning and successful adults by the time they move out of the house.
Right.
You know, like the priority becomes building them up into adults.
Exactly.
And then I can, you know, if building them into adults can be done through working on something with me, on something that will provide for all of us, then great. Like, because I want to build cars and stuff like that. Building cars with my kids would be amazing. That would be good for them. It'd be good for me, because that's a goal that I have, that I plan on doing regardless of whether or not I have kids at the time. So that's going to be something that we could do together that would build our relationship and build them in understanding the world and just how things work, all that stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that part of things.
Yeah, it's like, what are you trying, like, yeah, I understand what you're trying to say. Like, you're saying that whatever our kid is and whatever our kid becomes, it's basically the product of what we are, the mentality of what we are. It's like a business, like the production that you make with your woman, what you put out into the world,
Yeah.
is like the person that's gonna either change the world, or, you know, hinder the world from growing.
Yeah.
Like, what are you pushing out there? Like, what are we pushing out there? I feel like a lot of times, when they have either a single parent, either a dad or a mom, and, you know, that creation goes out to the world blinded, you know, not with the foundation of a mother and father, it becomes something that's like, maybe if they fall in the right footsteps, they become something great. But, you know, you also got your bad seeds. You know, I'm not being a dick here or anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's 50% nature, 50% nurture. And I've had little sisters. My sisters were born when I was 13, my first sister. And they have their own personalities. Like, kids have their own personalities that come from genetics, basically, just the way they're wired. And, you know, that also means that sociopaths and psychopaths can be born. They're not always just created. Like, they can just be born, and you could be born into the perfect cookie cutter household,
Right.
that would be building a great person, but because that child may have been born with some sort of weird abnormality, then
But that's what I'm trying to say. It's funny how people like you, my friend Rafa, and then myself, and then like other friends I have like back home, my friend Patrick, my friend Joey, like, you know, I feel like if we all got together, we would have the same mentality, the same ideas, the same like it'll be one big functioning brain in a certain way, as like, if we
that'd
joke
be our
about
tribe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Like, if we joke about something, we'll laugh and keep it going. If we think about something that's a good idea, we can move it forward and keep it going. We can grow into something bigger and better. And then you got those crowds that are just like not good. It's just like, you see, like, and I know I know a few. Like, I see some groups, and
I mean, especially working in in the hospital industry. You
No,
see
no, no, no.
probably a
Like
lot of
this
people.
is like people I've met in my life.
Oh, okay.
This is like people I've met throughout my whole life. And I've heard people say, "Oh, I want friends that we can go to the store and dress up with like onesies and run around the store." And I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you,
I mean, that's live your life, G.
homie?
Run around
Like,
in
if that's what you
onesies
want
at
to
the
do,
store.
go for it, dog."
That's typically a more. I ain't met many dudes
You're
that want to do that.
25 years old, my
I
guy.
ain't met many dudes that want to do that. Not gonna lie. It could be girls. That's fine.
No, this is a fucking grown ass adult 25-year-old saying that he wants friends so he can dress up in onesies, run around the store, have a great time, take pictures, blah blah blah. And I was just like,
By all means, go for it. But that's a strange goal. Not for
I'm
a
not
man.
sa- I'm
That's
not-
a strange goal for a man to have.
I'm not saying
I'm gonna
don't.
be real.
I'm not-
I'm not saying don't either. If that's what makes you happy, do what makes you happy. But that is a strange goal for a man to have,
hey man,
in my opinion.
this person had a lady.
Was she cute?
This
I
person
mean, it
had a
doesn't
lady.
really matter.
All right,
He had a lady. And based on your answer, I don't think she was cute.
Hey man, all I'm saying is like, you know,
That's.
I mean
regardless,
that
it's a
was one of the
strange goal
things
for a
that
man.
like got me off guard. I was like,
Okay. I'm gonna dress him. Cool.
sure, dude, if you want. I was like, he's like, yeah, how come you never do that? And I was like,
Cause it just like I'm sure we'd have fun.
I was like
Maybe.
8,
Yeah. That's
you know. Yeah, that was like maybe 5. You know, 8's a little pushing it, but 5, I'm kind of down with 5, maybe 3.
yeah.
3 to 5 maybe.
That's just a strange goal for a man to have.
Personally, I'll never do that unless I was paid like $1 million, maybe $2 million, 3.
I mean, you wouldn't have to pay me all that much to do it. Like $1,000 to dress up in a onesie and run through the store. Sure.
I could.
That's $1,000 for 5 minutes of work.
Really?
$1,000? I don't give a damn what people think.
I couldn't.
Couldn't do it for
I
$1,000
couldn't.
bucks.
I'll do it for like 10.
10,000.
Maybe 10. Yeah, 10. But for
Interesting.
1,000, I would not be able to like dress up in onesies. Like, and I'm not saying that's weird or like, you know what I'm saying. I just wouldn't be able to. I think I'm too prideful. I think that's my issue.
It is prideful. It is prideful. I'm not that prideful. I mean, if you're paying me to do it, $1,000, give me a onesie. What am I wearing? Is it pink? I don't care.
unicorn.
It's a unicorn onesie. That's even better.
Oh my god. 10 grand. I'm down. But 1 grand, I don't know. That's crazy. I don't think I'm too prideful for that.
I could do it. I could do it for $1,000. That's if I
trust
could
me.
do that over and over again for $1,000. Do you know how much money you could make just running through stores in a onesie? You get people looking at you weird. That's fine. That's hilarious. The reactions are funny. That adds to it.
I can wear a pink shirt and be okay with it, but I cannot do onesies. Like pink shirt, like any color shirt. Fuck, dude. I would wear a turtleneck. I don't give a
Hey, if
fuck.
it works with the fit, it works with the fit.
Jesus. Like when I heard that, and I was like,
You want to run around in onesie?
Jesus.
Okay.
Okay. And then the other thing,
That's your thing, bro. That's your thing. Do your thing. But
I don't know.
it's a strange goal for a man to
sus, that,
have.
brother.
That's a little sus.
A little sussy. You know what I'm saying?
It's a little sus.
I don't know. I'm like, then I meet other people, and I'm like, fuck, you would get along great with him, but not with me. So you can go fuck off. You know what I'm saying? No offense.
Keep that shit over there.
Yeah, you all go hang out over there.
Yeah.
You all leave me the fuck alone. I know I'm a nice guy,
You
but
be the onesie guys. That's
you
fine.
know, I just feel like I'm too approachable sometimes, even though I have like a resting dick face. I just fucking, I'm too prideful sometimes, but then again, I'm also like, I feel like you know, like Shrek?
Yeah.
I feel like Shrek.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Get out
feel
of my swamp.
Like, yes, but I'm also like willing to like, okay, let's give this motherfucker, let's give Donkey a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
But
Yo, Shrek could have had a very peaceful life if he didn't give Donkey a chance. That being
Deadass.
said, he wouldn't have found Fiona.
exactly.
So,
And look where he got himself. Now he's in
in a
fucking
lot of different
debt, bro.
ugly situations.
Now he has kids, bro. He could have been
He does.
alone, having a great time.
I
Like,
don't know, but I mean, it's worth it for the kids.
True. I mean, I wouldn't mind having maybe 2 kids.
I actually had this conversation with a friend of mine. I want 2 to 3.
Okay, that's doable.
If I could choose, it would be boy first or 2 boys and then a girl. I would like a girl at some point. I would like to have a daughter. But ideally, I would have a boy or 2 boys first and then a daughter so that they could protect her because, I'm going to have a hot wife. So, like, my daughter's going to be gorgeous. And there's going to be all kinds of boys trying to get at her. And I need my boys to be protecting her.
How far apart?
It doesn't really matter.
Really?
Because if the boys come first, like, they're older regardless. Like, throughout school, if the boys come first, like, 1 or 2 grades difference is a big difference. When you're in, like, middle school, high school, 1 or 2 grades difference, it's a big difference. Because kids develop, like, the way kids develop is just so much faster than the way adults develop. Well, adults are done developing. That's what makes an adult.
Right.
So, like, a 2 years difference between you and me, you're 27, right?
Mm-hmm.
3-year difference
Mm-hmm.
between you and me isn't all that much of a difference. But as kids, like, the difference between a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old, pretty big difference development-wise, for the most part, usually.
Personally, I would like, I mean, shoot, I wouldn't care what comes first. Girl, boy, whatever. But what matters the most to me is, like, the time they are within their birth.
Really? Interesting.
So,
Why is
like,
that?
if I can have a kid 1 year, if I can have the other kid as soon as my girl is, like, ready to go, blah, 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 great. Or maybe even a year a year apart. And then, but that has to be agreeable with my woman,
regardless, they're going to be, like, at least 9 months to a year apart because you can't knock her up the night she gives birth.
No.
To the one before. So, like,
I know. What I'm trying to say, like, if I could just, knock them back to back, that way they can grow up together and get out together.
No, absolutely.
And grow up together,
Absolutely.
and they can help each other. Maybe, even if they want to go to college or not, whatever, up to them.
Yeah.
They can
That's
live
true.
together or at least watch each other's backs when they're out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would say that I wouldn't want more than 8 years probably between the first and the last.
Wow.
Because if I have 3, then, like, if there's an 8-year difference between the first kid, the firstborn, and the lastborn, that's not the worst thing. But I don't think I would want more than 8-year difference.
Yeah.
Like, ideally closer together. Ideally closer together, as close as possible.
I do hear that a lot though. Like, I remember this one girl was telling me that, oh yeah, my brother's 35. I'm like, holy shit, how old are you?
Yeah, that's a big difference.
22. I was like, what the fuck?
That's a 13-year difference.
I was like, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 13 years older than I have half siblings all over the place.
My brother and I are 6 years apart,
That's not that bad.
and my sister and I were 10 years apart.
My first sister, by my dad, I think she's 8 years younger than me. And then my sisters by my mom and my stepdad, the first one was 13 and the second one is 15 years difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a big difference. But ideally, yeah, I would like to have my kids, like, probably no more than 3 years apart from each other, just because they can help each other, take care of each other.
See,
That kind of thing.
that's what I like. Like, maybe a year or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
3 around that area.
Yeah.
I would
3
like
years
to.
between each one, and then, like, total of 6 years to 8 years between the first and the last if I had 3. I don't want more than 3. If I had a fourth, like if I had just 2 twins or something like that, whatever, it is what it is. I wouldn't want more than 4 at all.
If I can get twins, and if it's rare, as in like boy and girl twins, done.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Like my one of my best friends, Joey, he has a twin that's like one's a girl and one's a boy. Like, he's a boy, obviously, and his sister's a girl. Fuck, dude.
He is a twin
It's
with
so
a sister.
stupid.
He has a twin sister.
Stupid today.
It's okay.
Translate
Translate to white.
So yeah, just translate to white. No, bro. Yeah, his sister and him are twins. And at first I was like, no fucking way, that's impossible. And he's like, no, yeah, we're twins. She was born like I think he said like 3 seconds or 13 seconds or something.
3 seconds is pretty quick.
Like 3 or 13 seconds like after. So like she was born and then like
I would imagine it's 13 seconds.
I don't know.
Because like 3 seconds is okay. Here she is. All right, now get ready. It's like, dang, that's pretty quick.
Football's coming at you.
I would imagine it's 13. 2 minutes is what I hear a lot, like a minute or two.
Oh, you know what? I'm totally fucking wrong. I think it was 3 minutes.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
Okay. 3 minutes sounds more realistic.
Three to something. Yeah, I know for sure. It was, I think he might. If he hears this, correct me if I'm wrong, my guy.
Because some women are pushing for hours. Like
yeah, I know that.
Very,
yeah.
not as many, but they're definitely enough.
Usually,
unfortunately, that some are pushing for hours.
Yeah, usually their first kid. That's how long.
My mom was in labor for like 4 hours.
Yeah, that
Got lucky.
The first timers, that's usually how it takes. Usually when they're on the second or third, it takes like an hour or 2 minutes.
I hear like 4 hours sounds like a long time, but at the same time, I know that there are some women that have been through like 24-hour labors, and I'm just like, you can take all the like, because my mom, for me, she took like the epidural and the pain medication and stuff like
I think
that.
my mom did that too. No,
For my sisters, she did a home birth, a water birth with nothing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and she said she would never do epidural again ever, just partly because of like you don't want the medication being pumped through your kid, but also because like it wasn't all that bad to do the home water birth. Like it just wasn't as bad as she thought it might be, kind of thing. But like at the point where you have a 25-hour labor, do what you got to do. I'm not going to tell you how to go through that because that sounds awful.
Yeah, like I want to be there for like the whole time for my woman, supporting her, hyping her up, you know, like in confetti, you know, getting her ready and shit, like putting some pump up, like.
Are you going to be in the room while she's giving birth?
Oh yeah, dude.
Okay, good.
I definitely want to be there.
Same.
I want to be the one that cuts the cord.
I'm not one of those guys that's gonna like I've seen videos of dudes like pass out when the kid shows, and I'm like, I'm not very squeamish at all. Like I can look at blood, I can look at gore. Like I haven't seen very much gore in person at all. Thankfully, I wouldn't want to, but I can. Like I don't think I would not be able to handle it. Like I've never been that type of person that just like is super disturbed by what I've seen.
So I've never seen someone be freaked out from shit like that till I had that experience with someone. This one chick, like I fucking nerd out on this shit, bro. I'm like, oh my god, this looks fucking cool, you know? Like, deep in that shit, like. And this girl was like, it was random as hell, bro. We were like. I wasn't doing shit. I was just like observing, like, you know, kind of assisting, not really, but during this procedure. And then it was funny because I was like, this is so fucking cool. And out of nowhere, all we hear is like, I feel a little warm. I'm going to go drink some water, and walks away. I mean, she wasn't doing anything to the point where like if we lost her, it'd go south. But she was just standing there. And she said, I think I'm going to leave. And like, basically, that's what she said. Like, I feel a little warm. I'm going to get some water. And she left and didn't come back till it was over. And we're like, hey, are you okay? Like, did you, oh, I'm fine. And then later on, I'm like, are you sure okay?
Is this someone you work with at the hospital?
No. This is some other random stuff. Like some other random training.
That
we did. And it was just like, it was all fake.
That's how you find out that maybe this isn't what I should do with my life.
Yeah, it was all fake. It was all like a training scenario, like in some back in SoCal. And I was like, damn, bro. Like, maybe you should reconsider your career choice.
Your career path, yeah.
I mean, we were like 18, 17 or something, but it was just hilarious to me how like I was all like, this is so fucking cool.
This is interesting.
And she's over here like pale and warm, and I was like, Jesus, bro, like. But you can tell.
Interesting.
And the trainer was like, is she okay? And I was like, I don't fucking know. Like, she's like, she does know this is fake, right? And I was like, I think so.
I think.
No, but back to what I was trying to say. I don't think I'm a faint when it comes to giving birth, to my woman giving birth, I think I'd be very supportive, trying to help her out. She needs someone to punch, whatever, like hold or grab or squeeze, whatever. I'm right there for her.
Yeah.
The part where I do feel I'm gonna faint is fucking marriage proposal at the
Really?
altar.
At the altar, like when she's walking up.
I know for sure I'm gonna cry and faint.
I'll probably cry, but I don't think I'm not. I fainted one time, and that was because I was malnourished, and that's a different story that Adam has probably told you, where I passed out. In the kitchen.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was a bad time. Drank
say
a
you
lot the
just,
night
like,
before.
Fell,
I was just
fucking fell back.
dude, I was grabbing for some. There were granola bars on top of the fridge, and I was just like trying to grab. And it was when you stand up too fast and you like your vision closes a little
That happened
bit,
to me once.
and then that happens to me often enough. Well, it doesn't happen anymore, but it used to happen more frequently. And this time it was really bad, just because I was, like I said, I was malnourished. It was New Year's, drank a bunch, threw everything up, didn't eat anything the next day. That night, smoked a little bit, and so I was dehydrated too, because I just basically got back home and slept. I drank some I don't even remember, like some Gatorades or something basically. But I was reaching for these granola bars, and I'm just like, the vision is fading. And the next thing I know, Adam is standing over me, slapping me in the face like, "Bro, are you okay?" And I was like, "Just laying down." He was like, "Nah, you passed out." And yeah, that was the one time that I have ever fainted or passed out.
I almost fainted. I think I was laying on the couch, and I think I got up too fast to go to the bathroom. I got up to go to the bathroom, and getting up too fast was it. And I went to the restroom. I got to the restroom, and as soon as I peed, that's when everything went south.
Oh no!
Yeah, I know it has something to do with your pressure dropping. So I think getting up too fast, and then going to the restroom and then peeing, my blood pressure just dropped insanely. And then I remember holding onto the sink and like looking at the mirror. He's like, no, not today.
Looking in your own eyes.
And I was like, when you're drunk, you're like,
yeah.
when you should go home, but you're just like, I think I'm okay.
I think I'm okay.
No, you should definitely go home. No, but that's how I felt. I was like, no, not today, not today. And I was at my freaking cousin's house, and I was like, I'm not gonna embarrass myself like this right now.
At least at your cousin's house, it's like it's family. If it's at a friend's house, it's like A, it's embarrassing, but B, it's like, who are these people?
my beaner ass mom would have thought the first thing should have been like, he's on drugs.
Oh
like,
no.
I was like, no, I'm not doing drugs.
I'm just drunk and didn't eat enough.
No, I was fine.
Oh, you were fine?
Yeah,
you weren't.
I was like, I think I was like 17.
Oh,
so
maybe you were just like didn't have enough food in you, or
maybe not enough water.
I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's usually what it is. It's for some reason I want to say it's like it's a symptom of iron deficiency to have that happen a lot.
That too. I was a horrible eater back then when I was like 16, 17. I was not the best. No, actually, yeah, I was 15, 16 actually. Around that age, because I was still chubby. And then I know for a fact I was not eating right, and I was not drinking enough water.
That's probably what it was then.
I mean, I was like garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah.
But, damn.
Yeah. Damn. It's been a pretty good pod.
That was a good pod. That was a good hour 40.
Good hour 40. Yeah, good hour and a half.
Yeah,
hour
dude.
40. Had some pretty good moments.
Yeah.
I speak white.
I speak white. God, you're not gonna drop that.
I'm
ever.
never gonna drop that. That was so fucking great.
I should just put that in my bio. I speak white.
Yeah.
Like certainly, like languages.
Yeah.
Like in my resume, I'm gonna put that.
Languages, fluent in white.
Spanish, fluent in white. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck does white mean, bro?" If I can make my fucking interviewer laugh their ass off because of that,
Great.
you're fucking hired.
Yeah.
If I was hiring someone and I saw that shit, I'm like, you're hired on the spot. That shit was hilarious.
That is funny.
If I'm gonna be working with your ass, more than 3 days together, you better be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, true. Yeah, dude, sometimes I just hate how like offensive humor and dark humor is so frowned on. Like,
It's so beautiful.
it's so funny. Offensive humor is the most hilarious form of humor, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Racial humor, all of it. All of it is fine.
Who's that guy from fucking Geico? Oh, fuck. Andrew, not Andrew Tate. Fucking.
Well, you said Geico, so I definitely wasn't going to guess Andrew Tate.
No. I was just thinking Andrew. He's like some. I don't even want to pronounce.
Did you hear that Andrew Tate got banned off of Instagram and Facebook?
What?
Yeah. They got him. The cancel culture got to him.
No way. Oh, Andrew No, Andrew Garfield. What the fuck am I talking about right
Andrew
now?
Garfield is the dude that played Spider-Man.
I know who that is.
Which Andrew are you talking about?
Andrew, fuck, dude, he's a comedian.
Oh, Andrew Schultz.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah.
Got
yeah.
it.
Hilarious.
That guy has
Dude,
balls.
his new special I've heard is, first off, I've seen dang near half the special because everyone posts clips of it on TikTok and all
Balls.
that. No, he's hilarious.
That guy has balls.
He is funny.
Jesus.
That's good. We need more of that because comedy has been taking a hit because of cancel culture. It's ridiculous. I hate it so much.
R.I.P. fucking Chappelle.
Dude,
Like,
bro, Chappelle could never die, first off. I'm pretty sure he's recording another special
I hope
soon.
so. Mad respect
yeah,
to that guy. And also fucking
so much respect. He's
his
like
name?
the king of comedy.
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr is hilarious. I
Dude,
love Bill Burr.
they told, I'm pretty sure they told him to chill out.
Really?
'Cause Most of his shit.
Well, yeah, most of his
not as
stuff is
ballsy.
offensive. He's not as ballsy anymore.
Dude, I went to go see him live,
Oh, you did?
and I was
Was
surprised.
it his show out here?
It was in Oakland.
Oh, okay.
I was,
He did one out here either earlier this year or towards the end of last year that
I think it was the end of last year.
I spaced and didn't get tickets.
Same.
But next time because I saw like a poster for it at the GSR driving by all the time, and I just never bought tickets like an idiot.
It just didn't hit me, you know? Like,
Yeah, I just didn't think to buy tickets because Bill Burr is one of my favorite comedians.
Same. I got to see him live, but I feel like a lot of his jokes were good, but very suppressed. Especially being out in Oakland.
He's probably just tiptoeing a little bit because cancel culture is rough, man. For whether you're a big name or not, like Bill Burr is a big enough name that he would survive, but not unscathed. You know what I mean? He would definitely take some hits.
Yeah. And it's scary nowadays because you never know. You might get hit like with some random shit.
Yeah.
Like a lot of fucking, like Elon Musk called it out once on Twitter. He's
Yeah,
like,
he
watch
did.
him, watch
He's
him
like,
after
I'm
me.
about to get this, blah, blah, blah. And then it happened. Dude, fucking Louis C.K.
That guy's a funny motherfucker too.
He's hilarious. He got canceled. I understand where they were coming from, but at the same time, like, do you know what he got canceled for? So he had a really weird fetish for jerking off in front of women. Really gross, really weird. However, he did have the decency to ask beforehand, and he only ever did it if they said yes. And then he got canceled for it.
I mean,
And so it's like, at that point, it's like, well, you said he could, and then he did it, and you're surprised?
so cancel everyone that watches pornography.
I don't know. I don't know, but like, not everyone that he's doing it in front of them.
I mean,
Like he wanted them to watch him jerk off, I guess.
exactly. People that do porn, shouldn't they be canceled?
I don't know. I have no idea. But it's just ridiculous that,
Because
like,
there's videos like that out there.
yeah, no, I know there are.
So
I don't know.
is he rich and famous? He offended someone? That's fucked.
I don't know. But he got caught up in the whole Me Too movement also just because he had a weird fetish and girls complained about it, and then he got canceled, completely canceled. Granted, he's coming back. He's doing comedy again. I haven't seen any of his comedy since the cancellation. But yeah, he's hilarious. He's a funny guy.
I know Joe Rogan's also doing a tour.
Yeah, he is.
That guy's
He is.
funny too.
I saw him in November of last year in Sacramento. Yeah,
I'm lucky.
yeah.
I've been wanting to see him.
I knew about that one for a minute because I listened to his podcast and I knew about that one, so I made sure to get tickets.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah, I got in. Dude, on my way to his show, I was so mad. I was almost late because there was you know how I-80 is the only freeway into Sacramento. There was a truck that spilled over on I-80, and it took like 4 hours, 5 hours to get to Sacramento, as opposed to 2.5.
I would have been pissed as fuck too.
I was so mad. I made Instagram videos of it. I did some story posts. I was pissed.
Did you make it though?
I made it. I ended up making it. I saw his whole set, but I did miss like most of the pre-show people because you know they have the people that open for
Oh
them.
yeah.
Which is fine.
See,
I didn't really mind.
For Bill Burr too. Like, oh my god, getting there was just annoying because it was like so much traffic. You had to walk up to.
Oh, it
this
was in the
fucking
Bay,
line.
you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
screw
Oakland.
that.
And then like you couldn't use your phone because I guess when they put your phone in a pouch, it's because they're recording live.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then my girl told me, it's like, hey, the reason why they put our phones in the pouch is because they're recording live. I was like, no way, that's fucking crazy. But it took forever to get in. 2, it took forever to get to our seats. 3, it took fucking an hour to get fucking drinks. And then it was like a drink for my lady and me, and then for the guy and the girl that we went with, drinks for them. And then yeah, it just took an hour, and then I was so fucking sad when I would hear like him saying jokes, and we missed like literally half the fucking show. At least that's what I feel like.
Yeah.
And then my girl's like, "Oh my god, you missed out one of the best parts." I was like, "Fuck you!" Like, I had a fucking drink. I was like, "Dude, I was
annoying.
so sad, bro."
Yeah. If I'm going to a show like that, dude, I saw Suicide Boys on Monday.
I know you told me about that.
That one was
I
great.
saw your videos too.
I love that.
That shit looked dope.
It was a good show, dude. We so my buddy, we already said we were gonna end the podcast and just kept talking for another 15 minutes. It's whatever. Anyways, this will be the last story, I guess.
Okay.
My buddy hit me up like as the show was starting because the show started at 6. There was Ski Mask, Slump God, Snot, who sings Gosha. I don't know if you've heard that song. And then there were a few others that I don't really remember. But yeah, so the floor tickets were sold out. And they would have been like $200 anyway, so I probably wouldn't have bought one. But so I had to get stands tickets, and you can't get onto the floor where all the mosh pits are unless you have floor tickets, and you get a wristband and stuff like that. So I was stuck behind the guards, the gates, and right before Suicide Boys went on, because they were the main event, they were the main show, this dude came through like talking to all of us that was standing behind the gates. He was like, "Yo, when the lights go out and Suicide Boys go on, we rush the gates, right?" And I was like, everyone else was like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." Like, they can't stop all of us. And so basically the lights go out and we just rushed those gates and I got through. So I ended up getting into the mosh pit and being like 5 heads from the front.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
They fucking SWAT just rushes in here for your ass.
I know, right?
Testing and shit.
No, but like, yeah, just rushed through the gates and made it to basically the front. I got in with the group that had basically gotten me to go because they had floor tickets. My buddies had floor tickets, and I just couldn't get any because I didn't get any like months before when I first heard about it because I didn't know if I'd be able to go to the concert.
Right.
So I just didn't buy tickets. And spent like $40 on tickets, got a shirt and stuff like that. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Like spent $100, $120 total because I got drinks too.
Nice.
But yeah, it was a good show. It was a very good show.
I wonder what else is coming into town. I kind of want to go explore some more, but
Yeah, I'll look on Ticketmaster, see what's up.
it's a good one. But
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll actually end the show now.
yeah, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate everyone that's watching. Share, like, comment. Let us know what you think about the podcast last episode.
Subscribe, all of that.
Please,
You can tell us. You can talk smack too. That's fine.
message
We'll
us.
take it. We'll read the funny comments.
If you have any questions you guys want to ask or anything,
Things we should talk about on the podcast. That'd be great.
something you guys want to be interested in, what our opinions are, or something we kind of, we can give you advice for.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. If you need some advice on dealing with a situation, gladly help. We'll keep it anonymous if you want to be anonymous and not have your name and details out there. But just please enjoy the podcast. continue enjoying the podcast and send us some good vibes.
Yep.
All right. Love you
Catch
guys.
later.
See ya.